Hello and welcome to Build Your Own R2D2 parts 79 and 80. Last time I know that you could hear the fan in the background. That might be the case again, possibly even worse tonight because I've got a different kind of fan. Actually, I might turn that fan off and put the other fan on because that one could be just too loud. Anyway, let's do this. Alright, I hope you can hear me. Thinking of getting an external microphone that I can plug into my camera. Anyway, let's get going on 79. I was going to say Year of Empire Strikes Back, but that's when Empire Strikes Back was filmed, I believe, and 1980 is when it came out. Anyway, we're looking at the other side to our deep fat fryer basket. As you can see, I'm sure you recognise those bits, because I do, but I don't know why we've got an extra hole there. Well, I'm about to find that out. Do you like my little shadow there? The camera. It's great, isn't it? But I've had a hasty setup because I want to get this done and released. So, oh, we get some more screws as well, which is always nice. Don't mind how many screws they give us, because saves me hunting around from many months ago. So let me go and see what's in 79 and we'll get started. Okay people, you take this bit with the wings, as I like to call them, up the top there, and it's not that way round where that's flat, it's the hollow side, and you need to take this bit with the holes like so. That's BF11, and you're putting it onto this circle bit like so, and you're screwing in the 6mm silver screws, which I don't know whether it's going to focus, maybe it is. Oh yes, look at that, eat that Sony. Anyway, even though Sony and Panasonic work together, and then you're screwing in the top hole right there. So let me go and screw this little bit into place. You're taking this bit that you've just screwed in, and the wings are at the top there, as you can see. It's basically symmetrical with the other one. See the little ledge sticking out there? And you're screwing it in the other side with two 8mm screws. So let me screw this in. Okay, that's in there. It's a lot harder than it looks, because although it looks like you've got acres of space there, you're actually, your screwdriver is constantly bashing against that edge there. So that was quite awkward. Got it in there, and now the final piece is this one single rod. We'll call this random rod, or Roddy Random. It basically goes in the front of the semicircle piece. You can see the little dip there at the bottom, and you're screwing another 8mm screw underneath to secure that in. So let's see how easy this is. Roddy Random went in quite easily, I'm very happy to report. I thought he was going to be wobbly, but no, very solid. One page of instructions, we're done. And I don't mind at all, because the last two parts, oh my god, they were heavy. So I'm happy to be having a nice rest. But now, it is part 80. Let's go and have a look. Well, this is exciting, because we're getting what I think is the front of the whole unit. So that's instantly recognisable. You've got the two grill holes there. And you're getting the buttons that you'll be pressing to make things happen. And another weird bracket there. But before I start, spotlight on the character that nobody wants to know about or read about. There's a lot of interesting articles in these magazines, but this is something that most Star Wars fans would rather forget. All about Jar Jar Binks. Anyway, let's get on with part 80. This feels so iconic. Well, the first of the iconic pieces. That's this flap, which you need to make sure is this way up. You've got the overhanging bit at the top there. That needs to be at the top, which I just said. And you need to pop it into the very top slot there, so should fit flush. Then you need to screw that in using two 6mm black self-tapping screws. Let's just call them black screws. You need to put those into there. So let's go and screw this in while my voice holds together. Alright, that's in there. They have called this the front panel, which amused me because I'm thinking it's a cylinder, and a cylinder is a circle, so how can you have a front of a circle? Anyway, basic science aside, the next bit is BP40, which is that bit, looking rather nice and silvery there, and you're putting that bit into that bit, and that's this way up, so that the blanked bit is that side, and you're pushing that into place. I wonder if it's going to click. I haven't tested this yet. Oh no, it didn't click, but never mind, because you need to put two more black screws in the back. Alright, there we go, looking nice. And next, it's that circle bit. Okay, you're taking BP05, which is not labelled DeAgostini, and you need to make sure that the little arrow is at the bottom there. You can even see that. I can even see that looking in my little LCD screen there. And you're putting that so that the arrow is at the bottom, and you're putting that into there. Doesn't click into place again, sadly. Then you're taking this bit, which is BP16. I could have just read it off of there, but there you go. And you need to make sure that the little notch in a plastic circle is at the bottom. That matches the notch right at the bottom of the plastic there, right at the edge. You stick that onto there. Now that clicks, sort of, and guess what you need next? You need a 6mm screw. Metal into plastic, people. When it goes right, it's only okay. When it goes wrong, it's awful. That is nicely in there now. So next, you're now taking the body part and BP41, which is these buttons. And from the inside, you're putting this onto the sticking up bit there. And there you go, and you're screwing it into place. They're slightly squishy. They're meant to be squishy because they're working buttons for all the commands. That's that done. So next, we're onto the circuit board. I need to study what I need to do, and we will see. You're taking the actual printed circuit board and plugging this in, and as far as I can tell, these are both exactly the same. Whichever way you put it shouldn't matter. So let me plug this in. There you go, nicely in there. That being in there, and I'm leaving the cable tie on this time, just for the novelty factor. Let's see what's next. Alright, the instructions are actually very nice for this next bit. So, Malcolm, if you're listening to this, follow instructions first, then start filming. So, this bit needs to be this way up, and then you're putting this bit with the cable down the bottom there on top, so that these are sticking outwards, the buttons, because obviously you need to press them, and you make sure that the little tiny pins in the corner have lined up, and then you are screwing those three holes so that this stays in place with your usual black screws. Okay, that's nicely in there. Then you need to turn it over, the wires down the bottom, and you need to put BF37, and you need it this way up so that the top part is coming towards you, and you need to place it on the back there. You see those two screw holes there, and you've got a third one there. The plastic will come through the third one, and you screw those in with the usual suspects. Yes, so 6mm black self-tapping screws. Okay, the final part of this. Take your buttons, and it actually says fit the 6 projecting switch buttons into the holes in that piece, BP41, but they don't actually go into the holes, so I don't know why it says into the holes. The place you want to put it is so that the top piece is in that little recess there, and the bottom piece is over the hole, which is that bit. So you need to screw these in with the usual suspects. More black screws. Alright, that's in there, and it's very solid. But no, they press in nicely, so looking forward to one day activating those. Hope it's fairly obvious that the wire needs to go that way, so just in case. And that brings us to the end of part 80. I can't believe it. I still sit and think, can't quite get my head around the fact that there's only 20 more parts to go. 20! And I remember how quickly the first 20 went, so this is exciting, but it's equally hard to get my head around. And I think with these parts, I think that's the end of the whole body, because these two should take us round to the other semicircle, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, thank you for watching. That's the end of part 80. You've got 20 more to go. I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm excited. That being said, thank you very much for watching. Sorry it's a bit delayed, but the hot weather makes it very difficult for me to film these, because I'm further away from my fans. Obviously I can't have a fan right next to me, because that's probably all you'd hear. Thanks for your patience. Thank you for watching, and we'll meet you back here next time.